Our Father, which art in heaven, mellow be thy name. Thy midnight come, thy will be shunned and shy as it is in this club here. Give us our jams, our nightly beat, and forgive gals who won't dance against us. Lead us straight into temptation and deliver us from women who are evil. For mine is the dance floor with its power and its glory. Amen.
For some, it may have been a religious experience. It certainly was a soulful one. Chicago's South Side dance club scene of the 1970s was a pageant of far-out clothes, dynamite dance moves, and a rainbow of attitudes. A scene that disappeared decades ago and which might have only lived on in the memories of clubgoers had it not been for a New Jerseyan by the name of Michael Abramson.
Michael Abramson was a photographer who came to Chicago to go to the Institute of Design in the mid-70s. The photographs in this book were part of his thesis. If it wasn't for his photographs, I don't think this portrait of this amazing world would exist.
Over the course of 2 years, Abramson took an estimated 5,000 photographs at such legendary clubs as Pepper's Hideout, Perv's House, the High Chaparral, the Patio Lounge, and Showcase Lounge. And some of his finest images are showcased in a new book called Gotta Go, Gotta Flow from Chicago's City File Press. It's not the first published collection of Abramson's South Side photos, but the new book brings a literary element to Abramson's photographic artistry.
What we look for are collections of photographs that have never been seen before, or collections that by artists who are not well known. So I think Michael Abramson really kind of fit in well to that category. We always wanted to do a book of the pictures, but for us, the real question was, how can we add some text to this? And how do you do it without making it too academic?
I don't dress practical. I dress royal.
For the book's copy, the publishers turned to native Chicagoan and four-time National Poetry Slam champion, Patricia Smith.
I got these pictures, and not only were they in themselves wonderful, wonderful shots, but they reminded me a lot of my upbringing in Chicago, my parents, the music I used to listen to, and it was a great opportunity to be able to capture that time and those sounds, and bring what I had learned as a poet to hopefully make the pictures clearer for people.
When the funk takes hold, when the funk takes over, when the funk won't listen, when the funk keeps yapping, when the funk finds its swivel, when the funk rules the room, when the funk is your mistress, when the funk is your God. When the funk got the gospel, when the funk is your woman, when the funk reaches for bone, reaches for pulse, reaches for your rumble, reaches for crevice, and finds you, and enters you, and conquers you, there is nothing to do but give what you got to the room.
We originally just wanted her to take a look at the pictures and see what happened, just see if she was inspired by them. And the good news was, not only was she inspired by them, but she was, it was like a launching point for a much greater and more ambitious project than we'd originally hoped.
Patricia Smith ended up writing poems for all the photos in Gotta Go, Gotta Flow, the title of which comes from one of her poems that celebrates the rhythms that propel many of the photos. Abramson's massive thesis project earned him a master's degree from IIT in 1977. He went on to become a commercial photographer and photojournalist who traveled the world and photographed many notables from Oprah to Steve Jobs. But his South Side photos might be his greatest legacy.
He showed a remarkable degree of sensitivity and empathy for what was going on in these clubs. He wasn't there really as a person trying to grab sensational images, but he was more drawn to the people and the personalities and trying to capture really what was happening in the clubs.
get away, go away, anyway, anyway. Fold your crave into a wind that may or may not carry you closer to, farther away from what you run toward, what you flee. Go anywhere, everywhere, wherever. Begin with the night and its sly engine. Laugh at its face until you hear it roar.
I have to celebrate you, baby.
In a 2008 interview, Michael Abramson said, "I realize I have been to every part of the planet, but I have never been as far away as when I was on the south side of Chicago, not because it was exotic, but because it was so exhilarating." Abramson died in 2011 at the age of 62, but his photos of an unparalleled time and place in Chicago remain immortal. For Chicago Tonight, I'm Eddie Aruza.
On our website, you can see some additional photos by Michael Abramson and learn more about Gotta Go, Gotta Flow.